Like all the other YA novels, Winter Girls comes out of my interaction with teenagers. And just about 3 years ago, I started to get a lot of mail and running into girls at book events and at schools who would lean in and whisper or write very quietly about their eating disorders and about the pain that was driving their eating disorders and about how trapped they were. And they couldn't find, and they wanted to get better, but they couldn't get better, but they didn't really want to get better because everybody said they look really good. Such a hard struggle. And I didn't want to go there, because emotionally I've had my own eating issues and body issues. I was like, oh, this is going to hurt. So it's really going to hurt. I have a dear friend who's a pediatrician who specializes in adolescent medicine, who was a good help because she knows these kids. And I worked with a psychiatrist who worked at an eating disorder clinic. But the really hard work was sort of done internally. I leaned heavily in this book on the myth of Persephone, who goes down into hell for 6 months and the world turns into winter. And that's how I see these girls. I see these girls are frozen at an age and at an emotional point that they can't grow past. And the challenge is, really how much do you want to live? And can you live? So that was by far the most emotionally draining books I've written. Puts everything else it's in a league of its own. So when I finished it, I was so grateful to be able to write about something uplifting, like slavery. It's just, but seriously, at the end of that book, and this happened with Twisted too, at the end of my YA novels, I'm convinced that I'll never write another YA. And that's why it's so lovely to be able to venture into history, because history, all those details and all those lives, they provide their own metaphor. I mean, the details that I found in runaway slave ads that gave me clues into what people, if you have a little bit of a choice, even a little choice about what you're wearing, what you carry with you when you're escaping, says a lot about who you are. So the historical details just give me this gorgeous garden to harvest from in terms of the writing. That's an external source. For the YA stuff, it tends to be more internal, and that drains me. So I'm very happily in the middle of Valley Forge right now, feeling bad for those guys, but loving some of the details that they left for me. And I'm waiting for the universe to point me in the right direction for the next YA novel. And I keep on testing out, maybe I'll write about this, maybe I'll write about that. But I know, it's like I can feel it now. It's like when you're dating, you're like, oh, this is a nice fella. Oh, he's kind of a good fella. And then you date that guy, that one, and your heart stops. And you're just like, that's how I'll know that the next book is here. Because that's what it feels like.